I saw somebody building starting a monogram kit the other day, and I love monogram model kits. I built a lot of them as a kid, and we're talking like I started building them in the early 70s. I don't know if it's because they're 124 and they're a little bit bigger than other models, but I think the main reason why is because like the plastic on a monogram is kind of thick. This is a Boss 429 Mustang, a popular monogram kit. But I mean, just the weight and the thickness of the plastic generally back then, and not even this one, because I mean, some of them have much thicker plastic than this. But for some reason, I must have liked that as a kid, because they were just a robust model. You just handle them and do, they weren't spindly. They weren't prone for cracking, warping, bending, the things that kids do when they're putting a model kit together. So with that said, I want to show you a trick of a thing you can do with monogram. You can do this with other kits, but monogram, typically when you see a wheel for a monogram, and let me see if I can pop this one apart. Now this is this Mustang, this version of the Boss 429 came with two different kinds of wheels. It came with the stock Ford wheels. I'm sorry, I forget what they call those. There's a specific name for those wheels, but it escapes me right now. It came with the Ford wheels, or there was a version, I don't remember what color the car was on the box, maybe red. And it came with these extra wheels. Actually, I think these wheels you can find in other later Revell kits, when they issued usually a monogram kit, but I think it fits other Revell kits. So you have a lower profile tire. These are the tires that come with the kit on the right. These are for the stock rims from Ford. And then and this doesn't matter whether you use the stock wheels or you use this wheel. This wheel is just bigger, and I can show you, it's easier to show you on a video. So here's the front of the wheel, and of course here's the wheel back. Now what happens is when you put these together, you can see through the front part of the wheel, which is awesome. If you wanted to put a disc brake or a caliper and all that in there, you could get it in there, you'd be able to see it. But usually when you have a wheel back like this, you're going to put that in there, which is fine, and then it's got the hole for the spindle, but you can't see through it. But there's an easy fix to that. If you just take a little bit of time, it doesn't cost you anything but time. So you can do that, or this wheel you can see through. And the reason it's the same wheel, and it's actually the same wheel back. But here's what I did. All you have to do is take the wheel back and trim out the access. Okay? I'm going to move this car. This is the left, this is how it came, and then right, you can see how I cleaned out the material inside the wheel. Now you got to leave this lip and this rim, part of the rim there, because you've got to put that back into the tire, like this. So you're thinking, well, now how am I going to mount it? At the same time that you take this off, you're going to remove the center round portion in the center at the same time. I used a Dremel with a tiny, not necessarily a drill point, but like a knurled end on it, and I slowly went around it. You can make it nasty, it's not going to matter because you're going to clean it up. But however you do it, I went around one time on the inside, then I cleaned this all up on the outside, okay, and made it nice. And then you do the same thing to the center cap. You go around that center cap, then you take the center piece that mounts to the wheel and you glue it in the center of the outside of the cap, of the part of the wheel. So now you've got your mount. It's in the same basic place where it would have been even when you put the wheel back in there. It's going to be flush with the outer rim. and then you got your trim ring, basically is what you've turned it into on the inside, which looks fine. Now this one here, when I did it, I was working on this car and I never finished it. I did something else. I think I used the engine for another kit, and so there's no reason to finish it now. So I only did the one wheel, and I hadn't finished the other ones. But I've done this before on other wheels. But so normally we just paint this silver inside or chrome with the chrome pin, whatever you want to do, and do that on the inside, and it'll be fine. But you're saved a lot of, you can buy aftermarket wheels, I get that. But this wheel, or a similar type wheel, usually comes with the model kit. It's the wheel back that causes the problem. So this makes an easy way, take a little time, no extra money, no need to buy 3D printed wheels or whatever if you don't have the money. But you can do that if you wanted to, and I've done this before, is I've taken a brake rotor. You can get them photo etched. I forget who makes them. Probably Detail Master or something like that. Makes a rotor. It doesn't have a caliper on it, but they do make the rotor. And I used to glue the rotors in there, in behind there, so that when you look through the wheel, you could see the brake rotor in the front. So you may want to, it's just a little extra that you can do to make the car look better. So now, when you put the wheel on the car, you can see through it. So it's a short video. I just wanted to mention that. If you're building this type of kit and you want to see through your wheel, and if you don't see through the wheel, what I've always done, and there's some of them that probably don't have enough meat, like AMT. The wheels are very small. Like you're putting together like a 65 or 66 Mustang or something, or a 60s car. They only had 14, 15-inch rims in real life. So there's on a model car, there's probably not a lot of meat to get out of the center to do this with. And you would only do this when you can see through the wheel. And a lot of stock wheels on cars you couldn't see through, and you're not going to see through the one on the model. But with an aftermarket wheel like this, if they give it to you in a kit, they're still using a regular wheel back just to make it simple and easy to produce and save money. They're not going to get all fancy with it. But normally we just paint this side black so that when you put it in the wheel, it doesn't reflect back. I mean, that looks a little odd that it's chrome on the inside like that. So I used to paint those black, and then of course paint the outside. This is if it was a Tamiya kit, and let's say the wheels weren't chrome or something or whatever, but you could paint it silver or whatever on the outside. But definitely paint it black on the inside to give the wheel some depth. But that's only on a wheel that you can't do this to. That's just another tip of the way that I do it. So, and that's it, short video, and then a tip that hopefully might save you a little money if you got a little bit of time, and you can use those wheels and you can see through them and give your model a little pizzazz. And that's it.